center off of Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot, far down, he scored!
Come from behind for a month, now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get it! Wow! Edwards pulls up and buries the play! Shot for Darby!
Off the partially blocked punt. The return for a touchdown by number 9, Montana Warren.
Here, 7.2 for ASU. For the set. Yeah. ASU wins. BYU will challenge, however, so give it a sec.
I feel like there was a touch as well as that being in. But
So
yeah,
the challenge is touch.
little answer.
Welcome into Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratenuto at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter. Yes, I know you guys know this. Check out the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1, as you know. Plus, don't forget, you can check out the show also live on my IG at michael.caratenuto.5. Yes, easy enough. And I know. You know where I'm going, Pitchfork Lunchers. You can check out the YouTube channel, and pretty easy. Go to my YouTube channel, go to YouTube, and then you can go to you see my name, but it's M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. As you know, you have missed a ton of interviews, a ton of sound, meaning, well, interview-wise, coaches, players, alum, even going back to last season, insiders, all that good stuff here on Pitchfork Lunch. So again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe away. Also, those of you listening, well, you know how you can listen, but those of you watching, you can now listen to Pitchfork Lunch live on the Casual Sports Radio Network. Just go to www.ksrnaz.com and page will open up. Boom. Go down to go over to listen live, click listen live, hit play, bam. So for those of you that don't get to go to lunch exactly at noon or aren't heading to lunch, you can be at your desk. Again, like I said, go to www.ksrnaz.com. Page will come up. You'll see the awesome coverage, and get to that in a second. But yeah, just go to listen live, hit play, and there's Pitchfork Lunch, Mondays through Fridays, 12 to 1 p.m. So Stoke Casual E, let Pitchfork Lunch be a part of the greatest internet radio station, the best internet radio station out there. Invited Pitchfork Lunch to be a part of it, get more Sun Devil content, as always, which isn't a bad thing. As again, you saw the football plays some football plays on the way in, some volleyball, 9th ranked volleyball. Yes, in the top 10 in the country, 24-2 overall. 12-1 in conference play. They've won 12 in a row. Yeah, insane. Yeah, absolutely insane with Volleyball Zoom. But again, when you go and listening, you can hear about all that. When you go to the KSRN, again, you'll see, you want to talk about in-depth coverage of the first place Cardinals. Hell yes. Of the first place Cardinals, the Suns, the Diamondbacks, the Mercury when they're going, and now Sun Devil content, recaps of games, all that good stuff. You can catch it all there, and we are just, again, so very stoked to be a part of the Casual Sports Radio Network lineup and family. So again, big ups to Casual E. But yeah, if you're driving, I want you to watch, like I say every day, I don't want you to drive and watch though. So please don't drive and watch. But yeah, you can listen on the way there, and then you're at lunch, you're hanging out, bam, pop it up on your phone. Well, you can watch live, but you can also listen. So everybody wins, and we stay up to date in Sun Devil country. So again, go to www.ksrnaz.com and check it all out. Go from there. So yeah. And check it all out, because again, you will be very, very, very in the know. Again, being out there covering it, bringing people on to cover it, talking to players and all that good stuff. So yes, you are covered on all bases. But yeah, that being said, obviously anything going on in Sun Devil country, a little exciting. I mean, like I said, 9th ranked volleyball, should be ranked 7-2 football. Get into that. probably more so next week. But again, either way, football rolling, men's and women's hoops getting going again. Big games tomorrow, crosstown rivalry, getting that going as they as both the men and women will take on at GCU at the Footprint Center. So, quote unquote neutral site, but they're both local teams. So once again, how really neutral is it? But nonetheless, rocking atmosphere. I was there last year for it. Be a fun atmosphere. So yes, you should definitely get on out to that. If you are able to, because like I said, it's the women play first. I want to say at 3:30. It's 3:30, 4:30. I'll give it to you in a minute. And then the men play at 7. If you can get out to the Footprint Center again, it's awesome. Last year again, like the men took on Northwestern. That was a tough one. And the women took on Gonzaga, and then also they actually had more games. The team down south played Alabama on the men's side, and the women played. The women played too. The team down south women played as well too. But that atmosphere. Sorry, I was looking at notes from it. Apologies. I know. I keep talking about that. It's like I'm a student from the school down south. Anyway, but the atmosphere at Footprint Center, again, home of the Suns, saw the women's team practicing out there yesterday. Again, always a good idea to go get a walkthrough. When it's not your obviously home gym, as they say, but the atmosphere there is fun. Again, not your home gym. The women's team I know got shoot around. I think the men's team did as well. Practice out there on obviously the Suns court. Very, very cool. So, but yeah, I mean, it'll be so like I said, if you can get out to Footprint Center, absolutely awesome. Do it. Don't miss the chance again to see him play there. And again, taking on Grand Canyon. Heard Coach Van Neal talk about it a few weeks ago when volleyball played Grand Canyon at Mullet Arena. Just kind of what it does in general for the Valley, but having that rivalry, other than with, yes, the big one with the school down south wanting to pound them all the time. But I digress. It is having that rivalry again, definitely yeah, having that rivalry going. And again, and because before in recruiting, I mean, and look at Grand Canyon basketball wise, men's and women's, but I mean, people, when you look at the men's side, what they've been able to do and how they've grown, I mean, you might cross paths going after some big recruits. So even out of the state, obviously out of the state of Arizona, yes, but just in general. So yeah, I mean, get that rivalry going, and if you win, definitely could give a little boost in the recruiting there. Give a little boost in recruiting, as we know. But again, both programs interested in a player. And then I know for the school down south, we'll appease them, because they've already had to say it's basketball season. That was a great, hilarious, awesome meme. Whoever did that, absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I mean, until they come in, and if they're going after somebody, but nonetheless, it's still awesome atmosphere. All kidding aside, as you guys know, all kidding aside, it's um, yeah, all kidding aside, it's one of those things where it's like I said, the atmosphere is great, but for recruiting and everything, and look, it was one game, and everybody wants to overreact. This day and age, people overreact on the men's side with how they struggled against Idaho State. Yes, they did win the game. But then you turn around and beat Santa Clara, go toe-to-toe, stay in the middle of the ring with Gonzaga, who had just blasted Baylor by 40. I mean, after the first game, they played on the same night. After that first game, when you heard, and I mentioned it on the show, that Gonzaga literally blasted Baylor by 40. It was like, wow. I mean, what everything Coach Hurley said, if they play like they do, if they play like that, against certain teams, and I mean, they were tied at the half, and then the Zags made the plays in the set down the stretch. But yeah, I mean, that Baylor score, like I said, it was the same night, and we're like, oh, I wonder what, I'm like, oh, I wonder. I had to check and see if it was something about Santa Clara. And then I was like, huh. Sorry, they lost. I said 40. I apologize, Baylor fans. Gonzaga beat Baylor 101-63. And that's both teams' first game. So again, I get it. You see certain things, first games, whatever, but 101-63. They destroyed Baylor. who then turns around, of course, and beats Arkansas 72-67. And then they beat up on Sam Houston over the weekend in Waco 104-67. But I digress to ASU and Gonzaga. That's my point. Like, it's just insane to think about that they lost 101-63. Like, and then ASU, you're like, if Baylor did that, and again, first game or not, it was a first game for Gonzaga too. So, yeah. But look, the Devils, I mean, and it's early. Again, not going to overreact in the opposite way now. But that is but yeah, the Footprint Center, and their game is 7 p.m. I was right. The men's is at 7 p.m. The women's is at I want to say 4. I will get the right time for you now because it's going to drive me crazy here in my notes. I know I had it down. And but yeah, they're 1-1. Obviously, they beat Jacksonville State 74-66. And then you talk about hot offenses. Arkansas State beat them 100-96. And I mean, that game went down again to yeah, I mean, pretty much the final buzzer. But yeah, their games. Oh, sorry, I said 4. It's at 4:30. So the women play at 4:30 on Thursday against Grand Canyon, and the men play at 7 against Grand Canyon. Obviously, that men's game might get pushed, depending on how the women's game goes. But 4:30 and 7. But yeah, men's hoops, women's hoops. It's exciting, as is, like I said, 9th ranked volleyball, who is on the road. They are hitting the road today. They are at West Virginia tomorrow, and then Saturday they will be at Cincinnati. And football hits the road as well as they head to Manhattan. No, not the Big Apple, the Little Apple, as they head to Manhattan, Kansas, to take on the K-State. Yes, they have the same mascot, Wildcats, as that team down south, to take on K-State. And man, I mean, it's K-State. Look, we know they can play defense. I mean, they can run the ball, obviously. They defensively, they're getting after it. I mean, you look at what K-State, and we'll get into this. They are second in the conference. Colorado, again, stepped up defensively. Colorado leads the Big 12 with 29 sacks. K-State right behind them. They're number 2 in the conference with 25 sacks. ASU is 6th. They're at 18. If you're 18 through 9 games, that's 2 a game. So changing to, I mean, yeah, of course you would love to have almost 30, because through 9 games, that would be just a little bit over 3 a game. But yes, an extra sack a game, but how it changes field position. But they're getting pressures. They're making plays. They're getting the offenses off the field. We talked about that. But for K-State, 25 sacks for a total of 212 yards lost, and that's 2.78 sacks per game. Colorado number 1 at 3.22. ASU right there at 2, along with West Virginia and Baylor. So yeah, I mean, they are and you look at Brendan Mott leading the team. He has 9, pardon me, of those 25 sacks. Both him and, they played 9 games. I'm sorry. Rewind. I'm close. I was like, wait, he didn't have 9. Brendan Mott, the defensive end, yeah, he has eight sacks. 8 sacks to lead K-State in 9 games. So yeah, just about a sack a game. You are getting from Brendan Mott. I mean, this senior defensive end, 6'5", 244, just a big big cog in that defense. And that ASU, again, offensively, gonna have to try and offensively gonna have to try and make some plays. So he's got a total of 37 tackles, 18 solo, 19 assisted. Tackles for loss, he's got 9.5 for 60 yards. Sacks, like I said, 8 for 54 yards. So 114 total yards that he's accounted for other teams' yardage loss, right? So, I mean, like I said, 60 on tackles for loss alone, and then 54 more on sacks. So, yeah, teams have lost over a football field length of yardage to this young man. So, I mean, that's whew. But I mean, looking at what this young man can do, and again, I watched a ton of the Kansas game. I know, talked about that, talked a little bit about with you guys, ton of their rivalry game that was in Manhattan and Kansas again, almost got that one. But by the way, too, K-State does have let's say 3 kids from Arizona. Well, no, Trey Spivey, who is a freshman wide receiver from Hamilton High School, is there. And then let's see. I thought there was 3. Am I losing my mind? I mean, it could have been another team too. So, and I'm doing this one off the top of my head, but I know Trey Spivey's there. Ryan Davis from O'Connor, the phenomenal defensive end that I saw the last few years. I called quite a few of his games. Ryan Davis, again, a 6'4", 252-pound freshman defensive end from O'Connor, is on K-State. And then I could have swore there was one more. No, I guess it's just the 2, Spivey and Davis. But yeah, Ryan Davis again. He, I mean, he's played in 7 other games. He's got 3 solo tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 sack. I mean, as a freshman. So yeah, you're again, kid from Arizona. Again, he played tight end too. I thought he was a hell of a tight end. But yeah, his future. Talking to him the few times I did after football games, or even seeing him at different sporting events at O'Connor. Real quick, he was going there to play DN. But yeah, 6'4", 252. So, and then like I said, Trey Spivey, which I didn't tell you what he did real quick. As a receiver this year, he's played in all 9 games. He's got 5 catches for 41 yards, no touchdowns. And yeah, but I mean, and he's got, so he's again getting in the mix, but freshman, and again, you're learning, and everybody plays freshmen. A lot of them are ready to play, but that is where they are at. But yeah, K-State again going to be huge, and again, that game is a 5 p.m. kickoff here. Don't forget, 7-2 Devils. taking on the 8-1 Wildcats. But yeah, it's a 6 p.m. kickoff in Manhattan. And again, it's supposed to be about, Coach said that 35 after the game, and you'll hear from him today, but it's supposed to be a little warmer there. So that's good news too. That is very, very good news as well. So, but yeah, I mean, it's when you look at it too. No, we'll get into that in a minute. I'll get into that after a little bit. But volleyball, like I said, they are at West Virginia. They are at West Virginia tomorrow, and that game will be on ESPN Plus, and it is at 5 p.m. our time. And West Virginia, by the way, they are 8-15 overall, 2-10 in conference play. I say this because people are like, oh, ASU walk. Coach Van Neal doesn't look at a team like that, and neither do his players, because if you do, that's when, after all this momentum you've built up, you fall to an 8-15 team and a team that's won. They're 2-10 in conference, so they are 2-10 in conference. And their 2 conference wins. I mean, they started conference with Cincinnati, lost in 3 there, lost in 5 to Iowa State, lost in 3 to UCF, lost in 4 to Houston, lost in 3 to Kansas, and 5 to K-State. They beat UCF in 4 on October 16th, and then they turned they won their 2 win conference wins. They had a win streak. They beat Colorado in Boulder 3-1, and then they've lost in 5 to Texas Tech, lost in 5 again to K-State. Both times they played them, they lost in 5, lost in 3 to Kansas, and then lost in 3 again to Cincinnati. So yes, it has been tough. But yeah, they'll be in Morgantown tomorrow, 5 p.m. our time. And like I said, they're not going to take them lightly, because if they do, there'll be a very non-happy coach on the sidelines with timeouts and in between sets letting them know. So, but yeah, that is just, again, very stoked for the 9th-ranked Devils Forks up to volleyball as, again, Coach Van Neal's team just keeps working, keeps going to work. And like we always hear, they might not be the biggest team, but they can run. They run one of the fastest offenses, and their defense is insane. So, but hey, we're going to step aside, like I promised you, and we're going to hear from Coach Dillingham on the other side. And we're also going to hear from CJ Fight as well. So yes, don't go far, but yes, we will have more of this wonderful Pitchfork Lunch coming up.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org. This is the sound of a...
Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority. Got a big painting project you've been...
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird Gang, I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending a message out to the world.
Always laying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
And yes, you are.
You are listening to the best.
Yes, you are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN. Those listening to Pitchfork Lunch there, so glad you're able to jump in. Again, I am Michael Caratanudo at Diablos00 on X, artist only known as Twitter. Show's also live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. My IG, michael.caratanudo.5. Yes, it is also live there. The YouTube channel, you know it, my friends. Yes. M is in Michael, V is in Victory, C is in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. Watch the show live there every day. Also subscribe to the channel, because any interviews, any sound, any insight you miss, guess what? You can go back and get caught up as we dive into Sun Devil country and what is going on. Again is, football going on, volleyball obviously going on, men's and women's hoops started, soccer, women's soccer wrapped up, getting a little fall baseball in, getting out there. The baseball team's Halloween scrimmage, which is phenomenal. So it's all there. But yes, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, the aforementioned Casual Sports Radio Network. Go to www.ksrnaz.com. Again, page opens up. Go to listen live, hit play every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Pitchfork Lunch. Forks up. We are here. And again, they got comprehensive coverage too of, again, the first place Arizona Cardinals, the very hot and starting very well Phoenix Suns, who did win their NBA Cup game last night after blowing a lead against Sacramento, but beat up on Utah last night. Got out to a good lead, held on the lead. Awesome sauce. So again, all that coverage is there on KSRN, Suns, Cardinals, D-backs, Mercury, and now Pitchfork Lunch. So, but like I said before the break, hey, let's hear from Coach Dillingham. Heard his post-game comments, but today, again, getting ready for K-State, letting you know how some guys, are they going to be playing, back in, out, all that good stuff. So without further ado, I won't keep you hanging. Here is head coach Kenny Dillingham after practice today.
Feeling good. A little lighter day today. I took about 25 minutes off of the guys between yesterday and today than what we've done the last few weeks. week 12 when you include the bye week. So, you know, we got to get to the game day as fresh as possible, and they're coming off a bye.
Coach, any news on Cam? How's he doing?
Yeah, he's doing really well. I mean, he's going to play, barring something changing. You know, you would expect him to play the football game. So I fully expect him to play this week unless something changes.
There'd be no way to hold him back if you wanted to anyway, right? It seems like he's...
Well, I mean, I could always hold him back.
But it's better to say well than go is what I'm trying to say.
100%. You know, it's such a competitor. That's the one thing our football team is. It's filled with competitors, guys who love to compete, and we recruit to that. We embrace that, and I think it's infectious when you have a team that just loves to compete. They love that, and so it's exciting to get him back. You know, like I said, barring something happening here in the next couple of days, and I know he's ready to get back.
Speaking of running backs, where does DJ Giddens rank in the pantheon of really good backs in the Big 12?
Another really, really good back. I mean, they rush the ball like crazy. He has unbelievable patience, and he's so strong. You know, not very rarely does he go down wherever he's contacted. You know, and their style of play, you know, fits into that mold because they'll run the ball until you stop it. So if he runs you over for a gain of 5, and then he does it again, it's a first down. And they just keep doing that. And they don't really care what else happens in the game if they can keep doing that. And there's great power in that, and that's why, you know, Coach has won 4 national championships there. That's why he's built and continued a really good program there at Kansas State and built upon that into where they are right now.
As far as Keyshawn, in the same boat as Cam?
Yeah, okay. Same boat.
Coach, you talked about these guys play better when they're underdogs, when they're behind. You feel that this week, that they're...
Well, we are, so they definitely feel it. I mean, I've showed them, you know, everybody who says that we're still not good, we haven't played anybody, I've showed them that we're one of the few set 2-win teams that still aren't ranked. You know, it's that time of year where it's time to bring out all the external motivation. There's 3 games left, so we're going to bring out anything that we can. Our guys have been so focused game by game, not on the bigger picture, and we stay focused game by game. But I think definitely you have to point out the fact that our guys have worked really, really hard, and we got to continue to do that if we want to, you know, do what we think we can accomplish, and that's just be the very best version of us. And it's still out there. We're going to be better today than we were yesterday, and repeat.
What do you anticipate in terms of the atmosphere in Manhattan?
Loud. It's not supposed to be too cold, which is nice. Because Coach told me at Pac-12 Media Days, or Big 12, my fault, Media Days. Whoa, Big 12 Media Days to pack a jacket. So I think I can wear a light jacket. It says it's supposed to be like 58 to 60, which is nice. So we kind of got lucky there. So it's going to be an exciting game, unbelievable atmosphere versus you know, 2 of the top 4 teams in the league right now that are still in contention for the title. So it'll be a great challenge.
How gratifying is it to be playing meaningful football games this late in the month of November?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Like I told our guys, I don't know if there's another team in the country who has a better chance to, you know, compete to win a championship right now, that lives in as good of a city, with as good of weather, that practices in the environment we practice. I don't know if there's a better place to be anywhere than in Tempe, Arizona, where you can, right now, currently, where we're competing for something in 68-degree weather, where people move in the summer and flock in from all over the country to be in. I mean, where else literally would you rather be?
In terms of their defense, Kansas State, do they remind you of any other Big 12 opponents earlier this year?
Yeah, I mean, they remind me a little bit. Big 12 opponents?
Big 12.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously an odd front, and we've obviously struggled with the odd fronts. So all the odd front teams we've faced, Texas Tech, we obviously struggled with. Cincinnati obviously wasn't a good game, and most of the teams that did that we struggled with. So that's another thing that compounds the challenge is, you know, we got to go play better versus the odd front than teams in the past. But this team, the structure of this team actually reminds me of their rival, Kansas. It reminds us the toughness, the physicality, the way they play the game. That's what they remind me of. But obviously they've won a lot of those games that obviously Kansas hasn't this year. They've wound up on top. But that toughness and that grittiness and that just style of play, they're definitely a gritty football team.
So you mentioned Kansas. Obviously you played them. They're the team that beat them in Manhattan earlier this year. What did you take away from that game? From Kansas beating Kansas State?
No. Kansas State beat them.
Okay.
But it was a great game. It was a phenomenal game. They stopped them with 4:20 left. Kansas got a stop with 4:20 left in the game, had the ball with under 4 minutes left to go with the game and the lead. So if you turned it off early, after dark, that's fair. I don't blame you, because it looked like it was in the bag. It looked like it was in the bag, and it just shows you they're coming out on the right end of these wins, similar to us, and that's the challenge. The margin of victory in this league is so small that you have to win. You have to win the situations. You have to win third downs. You have to win the red zone. You have to win the middle eight. Right? You have to win the turnover battle. You have to win those things, and that's what this football team does.
Coach, to piggyback off that, what you said after the game, your team found a way to win, obviously against UCF, but when you said in the beginning of the season, responding to adversity, and they've been gritty, and like you said, they've been competing, played tough. But in your eyes, how have they just overall as a team been responding to adversity and growing each week? Yeah, they definitely have done that at a high rate. Obviously, early, some of the road games we didn't do a great necessarily job of earlier, but I think we've found a rhythm there. We just have a sense of belief. You look at our leaders on defense, and you believe they're going to make the play. Does that mean they're always going to make it? No. It doesn't always. The shot doesn't always go in. But the sense of belief that you're going to has to be there. And I think on offense and defense, our guys believe that when the game's on the line, we're going to make the play. Are we always going to make it? Sadly enough, no. I wish I could say 100% of the close games we're going to win, but it's not going to happen. But the sense of belief that we're going to win is there, and that's why you see us on top of these games. And that has nothing to do with our coaching staff. That's leadership. That's the players. That's the guys that go and make the plays.
Is this what it's all about, though, being at this point in the season, having a chance to get better, having a chance to play meaningful games, and having a chance to win a championship?
No. What it's all about is building relationships with these guys, and seeing Jordan Tyson go from being the first one out of the building to contrasting from the hot tub to the cold tub for an hour after practice, and then coming up extra to get film. That to me is what it's all about. This is a reflection. Playing meaningful games is a reflection of that, because that's the groundwork for that kid being successful in life. So for me, that's what it's all about, is all the things nobody really sees, but it's easier to convince guys to work hard, to build good habits, to do those things, to put themselves in position to be successful in life when they see that we are playing meaningful games. And that's their surrogate to why they want to do all that hard work. So for them, it's what it's all about. For me, it's all about getting these guys to understand how to be successful in life. And football is the avenue to do it. And the competitive nature in me, of course, this is what the coaching is all about. The actual football side of it is all about this. But why I do it, it's all about the other stuff.
Sam's put himself in a minimal amount of turnover-like situations. Based on your previous experience coaching quarterbacks, what are some characteristics that you've seen from him that have allowed him to prevent him from putting himself in this?
Preparation. He prepares. Usually, quarterbacks either make bad throws and turn the ball over, they either make stupid decisions to turn the ball over, or they get duped. They don't know what they're doing. They don't see it, right? Well, he prepares like a champion. Right, he has really good field vision, right? So very, very few throws is he going to be, duped on from that perspective. And then he's a fairly accurate guy, in his willingness to pull it down and run when he doesn't like the window. I think all builds into that, and I think that's a phenomenal trait to have, especially as a freshman, to take care of the football at that rate. There's right now to this date, there's no wood over here. But if I knock on wood, I don't know, that's wood behind me, right? But I would say there's only one play where he's thrown an interception this year that was really a scheme-based play, where he maybe didn't see it, and it was a corner route that he kind of did see it. He just threw the ball a little bit inside too, but that's the only one that I could say was just absolutely didn't see a guy, and a testament to him.
Kenny, what would you say are the keys to victory this Saturday?
Stop the run, contain the quarterback, run the ball, win your one-on-ones. When we do those things, we'll be very successful. Like I told our guys, this is a fight. This is a dogfight. This is not going to be a game where you go in and it's a 3-round knockout. This is going to be a fight where you may win round 1, they may win rounds 2 through 4, you may win 5, 6, 7. You just got to keep swinging. And it doesn't matter what happens. The team that gets back up and continues to swing and fight and compete is probably going to be the team that wins. If you took all the stats out of it, the third downs, the fourth downs, the red zone, obviously that correlates to winning. Both sides of the ball know that. this week more than others, this is a mindset game of you better come ready to fight, because they're going to hit you in the mouth and they're going to do it over and over again.
That was good. Got Coach Aurora. Yep, they are good, and they are going to hit you in the mouth. Like I said, they can run the ball. We talked about that. When you look at from a rushing standpoint, DJ Giddens, again, another running back. And like I said, I'm not saying, I'm saying he's, the RJ Harvey. And again, it can be close, right? I mean, it's close. RJ Harvey, the best running back, I would say, in the conference this year. Not a lifetime achievement award, this season. But DJ Giddens, 162 attempts, 995 yards, 6.14 per carry, 5 rushing touchdowns, averaging getting 18 attempts a game. So they get him up at 18-20, and again, like you said, like Coach said, he hand it off, he runs for 5 yards. They punch you in the mouth, he runs for 5 yards. They do it again. Well, they get another first down. So look, the defense, you thought we're going to have to step up and. All kidding aside, yes, we know I love defense, pitchfork luncheries. You understand that. But that being said, yes, I want to see this offense score. But Sam Levitt, the way he's grown, and I touch on it each week a little bit more, but getting on the same page with, the receivers. Yes, not just Jordan Tyson, but the receivers, the tight ends. We'll hear from Coach Mons tomorrow, by the way. But, yeah, it's just Sam Levitt's growth. And, even Jeff Sims, when he came in, again, didn't play terrible against Cincinnati. There's, some things Coach, talked about play calling and some of the calls, decisions, again, not play calling. I'm not starting a controversy. And I know you guys are smart enough. Don't go there. But just decisions on how they attack certain plays, things that happen. So Kansas State's going to do that. So, and speaking of somebody that's got to stop that, like I said, let's hear from Sun Devil sophomore D tackle CJ Fight.
First to the NFL.
Yeah, first NFL for sure. That's the plan. That's my plan. Hopefully, as it is.
What Kansas State? What stands out about their style or their offensive approach?
They have a great team. They have a great quarterback, great running back, great line. It's a good football team. Obviously, we all knew that. And they do things that you've seen. They also done things I haven't seen. So it's just, it's going to take a lot of mental preparation as well as the physical. So it is what it is. We just have to do what we need to do to make sure we're prepared for the game.
Yeah. They have a mobile quarterback, right? Like, what are the keys against a guy who can do a lot of things when stuff breaks down or whatever?
Just keeping him contained, make sure he isn't get outside the pocket. He can create great plays. He's a great player. So just making sure try to limit his athleticism. Yeah. Just make sure he can't show it too much. So make sure he stays in the pocket, make him become a pocket passer instead of letting him be the athlete he is.
How do you feel just to be in this situation where you guys are going on the road playing a super meaningful game in the middle of November?
It's great. Every game is meaningful. So just going into this game, you just got like an extra step just to make sure. Just getting the job done. Just still having that chip on your shoulder because nobody expects us to win. Nobody's going to expect us to win pretty much the rest of the season. It's been like this the whole season. So it is what it is. We're all we got. So we're just going to continue to play like that.
I can tell you guys expect it though. After that sure. UCF win, it was just like, hey, that's what we're supposed to do.
We have full confidence in this team, coaching staff, players. We're bought in, so we just want to play every game, just continue to prove people wrong because, like I said, we're all we got. Nobody expects us to do anything. So we're going to continue to be the underdogs and just continue to prove people wrong.
And you mentioned obviously prepping for a mobile quarterback, but the running backs you guys have had to prep for too. After going up against RJ Harvey last week, just your thoughts of going against him, and how does that help you going into this game?
RJ, he was a great back. We've seen there's a lot of great backs in this league. Every week we play against a great back. So each week we have to prepare for a good back. So we're just going to continue to do what we have to do in practice to prepare. And just try to limit the running game as much as we can. Just continue to do our job, do our one to left to make sure it happens.
How's that the work that you put in the off season, how is that helping you now? Like you're leaner, you probably stronger, feel better at this juncture versus a year ago in November?
I'd say my body feels better. Last year I was a lot more banged up, so around this time, it's the best I felt this late in the season, even in high school. So you know, I just take a lot of care in my body to make sure I keep my body right. And I say the training, obviously my body, my muscles, so you know, it's just make sure to translate the off season into this season and just continue to build on it. Make sure my body's right. It's the biggest thing.
I see you out there making some pretty rangy plays that where you're having to get to some spots to make tackles. Do you feel like you can do that more than you in the past, like the you know, chasing things down at a distance?
I say for sure. I mean, also it comes with just being more prepared. Last year, obviously, it's the first year, you know, kind of get my feet wet. Now I'm more familiar with certain looks and things like that, and certain feels the O-line gives. So you can kind of like, it's like one step ahead of I was last year. Like I had like 2 plays of the same play, like side by side. I'd say I'd get out quicker than I did what I did last year. So it's just things like that. It's just, you know, just spending time in the room, in the film rooms with the coaches, you know, watching it by myself, just making sure I see certain looks, you know, you just, with years, you just see things, get more comfortable with things and feel things better, really, so. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Speaking of comfortable, last year, I mean, I asked Clayton about this. You guys have 8 home games. I mean, you're a true freshman, kind of get spoiled being at home. This year, a little bit more balanced, but with going through that experience last year, having all those home games, how have you helped the young guys, you know, get adjusted on the road, and even yourself too? Because like I said, I mean, 8 home games is awesome. It's a lot, but now, I mean, hitting the road a little bit more. What's that adjustment been like for you, and how are you helping the young guys with it?
I'd say it might not even just be the young guys. You know, it's really everybody. Like you said, last season 8 home games, so it wasn't very many traveling games, like getting on the plane and playing, and then obviously we're playing a lot further than we did last year. So, you know, it's something for everybody has to get used to. Obviously, you can tell by the beginning of the season. You know, I think we're starting to figure it out, but you know, we're just going to continue to try to do what we can, just continue to get better and play better on the road.
And then with I mean, the complementary football, obviously the big special teams play. Martell gets his hand on it, blocks a punt, Montana scores, get another defensive touchdown. I know, you know, coaches has harped on it, you know, since he got here, but I mean, even last spring, you know, offense, you know, scoring, but defense picking the offense up and scoring. When you look at that, I mean, could you have envisioned it being, you know, like I said to you before, the first touchdown of the year, a defensive touchdown, but just every facet of the game scoring and you guys pushing each other? Is this what you envisioned for complementary football?
I mean, we knew it was coming sooner or later. I mean, that's what we harp on, getting the ball, taking the ball, just things like that. The ball is the biggest thing. So, you know, we knew it was a possibility. It was just a matter of time when it was going to come. So, you know, it's just playing team football. You know, if one side of the ball is struggling, you know, another side pick it up. So offense and defense had a little rough game, and the special teams helped us and picked us up. So, you know, so it was just playing good football. You know, sometimes one side might be a little off, and another side picks it up. So, you know, it's just, like I said, team football. Everybody's playing together and making sure holds each other back up.
And to piggy. Hey, so those listening on KSRN, have a most wonderful, we're going to get out of here, most wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Mike, what day is it? Hump day. Woo. And yes, I will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Again, more football, a little more volleyball, and some hoops, big hoops games tomorrow. So yes, that is what we have. So have a phenomenal rest of your day. And yeah, keep listening to the awesome programming here on KSRN. You know it from us here at Pitchfork Lunch. As always, forks up. All right, for those of you here, we are going to get back to CJ Fight. Want to finish that little overtime here, but that's okay. We can do it. That's why we have all these avenues here on Pitchfork Lunch. Back off that, how much more does it help when you're in a game like UCF? And I mean, other games you've been in this year, but the most recent one where, you know, they deliver a punch, you deliver another punch. You're just standing in the middle of the ring like heavyweights. But when you're doing that, how much more confidence do you feel you guys have this year in being in games like that?
I mean, just going off our culture, life versus ours response. So, you know, just going off, like, our biggest thing is responding. And coach even says, anytime we play a good team, like, pretty much every week is like, you're going to get punched in the face. Like, this conference has good teams. So anytime you get punched in the face, I mean, you just got to respond and just punch back and just not let it phase you. So just continue to go. Man, I'd say this defense and the offense, really this whole team, like, never gets phased. So this team, we're good with adversity. We train adversity. You know, in the off season, our biggest thing, we always wanted adversity. Like, we were in leadership council meetings trying to figure out ways we could find more adversity and things like that. So, I mean, everything that goes in the off season, the coaching staff puts together and things like that. You know, it always translates. So, coaching staff know they're doing what they're doing. The players buying into it is like it plays a part. So that's the biggest thing.
CJ, with 3 games left in the season, your team is right in the thick of the race to go to the Big 12 championship game. Has that registered with the guys? Is that a point that's brought up a lot? How do you view that personally?
I say it's not brought up a lot, but we know it's out there. So, you know, we just try to take it one game at a time, continue, make sure we don't look over any games, and just continue to stick with the process going each day, just to practice going through the days, like the mental days, the physical days, just going through each day with 100%, just making sure you do as much as you can to be prepared for the week of that day, and then soon to be Saturday.
After being 3-9 last year, how do you reflect on the fact that you're, as a team, in this position, 7-2, and with a chance to play for the Big 12 championship in a month?
I mean, it's just a testament of the plan the coaches gave us, and then our players, everybody buying into it. Just, you know, continue to, you know, just not let that, you know, dictate this year. Just letting it be motivation to continue to grow on it. You know, just because, you know, from that season you get a lot of hate, you get a lot of like doubters. So, you know, just using it all as motivation to just continue to keep going, and, you know, just realizing that, like, we're all we have, we're all we need, and we're just going to keep going and take it day by day.
How important was it for the team to win a game like last Saturday's? I kind of compare it to a baseball team winning a game when their pitcher doesn't have his best stuff. You still found a way to win as a team.
That's the biggest thing. Coach Dilly always says, good teams find a way to win. So, you know, they said we won this game from being smart. So, you won't win every game from just whooping the dude in front of you. So this game, it was a game where the things we sit in the football one-on-one meetings, where they come into play. So it's just, you know, like I said, our coaching staff knows what they're doing, and our players buy into it. So that's it shows up a lot this year. It's been showing up a lot.
What's your take on K-State's offense? Their quarterback Avery Johnson, their running back DJ Giddens, 2 of the better ones in the league at their position.
For sure. They're great players. You know, we're going to do what we can. We're going to just do our job. We do our job. We can hold anybody. So it's just having full confidence in our team, full confidence, and the game plan coaches putting in for us. You know, just doing our job, doing our 111, and just wherever it takes us from there.
Kenny talked about just end of practice there, taking care of your bodies as kind of the seasons. That's really important. How are you feeling fatigue-wise, and how do you feel like your teammates are feeling with their bodies so far?
I say the team seems pretty healthy to me. I mean, the player we really do harp on taking care of your bodies. Like, anytime it's a mental day, you take care of your body. Physical days, take care of your body. So it's just, it's just what we harp on. It's the culture, just making sure your body's right. Because, I mean, a lot of people don't have as much health as we do on this team. So we just want to keep it as an advantage and continue to grow on that. Just making sure we keep as many people as we can.
Does the process for, like, rehab?
And there you go. Finished out CJ fight there. But no, you heard what he said, like the belief. And what the coach said, I talked to him yesterday after practice, but coach saying that, that's why I asked him about, you know, again, the responding to adversity. And he kept saying it. And yes, at this point, you know, it's like, but that's why I asked that, you know, they're battling, and almost like it doesn't really seem as adversity. It just seems like they're playing a game. They got to make some plays. And because they have the confidence building each week, each day in practice. And, yeah, you know, coaches will get after him. I mean, with their, you know, just now the leadership council, again, there's been practices where the leadership council has kind of got after, you know, whether it's in their position group, the team, one side of the ball, like not having that it at practice. Well, but yeah, CJ, I mean, talking about their taking care of your body. And again, another thing you learn from, you know, jumping from high school to college. I think you're not taking care of your body and working out in high school. Yes, you are, but it's different. But the taking care of that, what he did in the offseason, the work, and you see it. You heard that was Chris Cartman asking him in front of the show, obviously, great friend of the show, Chris Cartman, the publisher of Sun Devil Source for 24/7 Sports. Again, follow that man on Twitter too. Again, from everything, yes, team insight, but like recruiting insight, him and his staff do a phenomenal job. As you know, when we've had him on, when we have great conversations, because they might go one way and go another. But I digress. But yeah, what CJ's talking about there, like it's yes, everybody says it's taking care of your body, but it's like mentally and and coach is saying like on their day off, Coach Ward talking about it, guys in the building, Coach Dillingham as well, guys in the building coming in the building too. Again, just get their bodies right, everything right, and yeah, I mean, look, you look at those two losses, go undefeated in non-conference play, Wyoming, Mississippi State, and that tough Thursday one against a very good Texas State team. But we'll get more into that tomorrow. But yeah, record-wise, but it's taking care of the body, but it's the confidence, it's the making the plays. It's now, like I said, Coach Ward, they want to know the why, and then getting on them, coaching them if they're off on something as to why to correct it. But just how, yes, in CJ's case, he's grown, but the defense has grown, the line. I mean, guys like, Prince Dorba and Clayton Smith outside of him, a guy like a Jeff Clark who transfers in, a Justin Watley who transfers in, Jacob Richkangaika, like from, obviously back from last year, like that growth there defensively. And then it's just, again, the whole team though. I mean, the offense, everything. And again, we'll hear from Coach Mons tomorrow too. So again, love talking CJ Fight. And yes, so for Mr. Fight too, again, we're going to get on. We got to get Tank out to a game. We got to get Tank out here. CJ and I were talking about it yesterday because, saying it's a little too hot, but we got to get Tank out here. So I got to reach out to Mr. Fight. I'm not going to tell him what I'm going to ask him. And if he's watching now, I'll know. But either way, he probably is watching. I spoiled it. But we're gonna lobby to get Tank, the phenomenal Fight dog, out here for a game. And it's not hot, since it's not hot out anymore. It's nice and perfect. We got to get Tank out, man, because he's awesome. So, nonetheless, that is going to wrap it for today. Again, appreciate you guys jumping in. Again, any thoughts, any questions? I'm going to get to triathlon too, by the way, because again, I will get there again. Just keep building onward and upward, on to victory, right? But onward and upward. But anything, again, hit me up at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as Twitter. My IG, Michael.Caracino.5, YouTube. Go to my channel, Michael Caracino, but it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005, at MVC005 on YouTube. And again, remind your friends from 12 to 1. Again, got to stick to the tight thing. Can't go overtime there unless I ask Casual E. But again, that's not on him. That's on me. But the Casual Sports Radio Network, you go to www.ksrnaz.com. And then at 12 o'clock, Monday through Friday, boom, click listen live, 12 to 1. Boom, we are rocking. So that being said, and you can tell your friends they can listen. You're driving, you're at lunch, you're watching, you're going to drive. Please don't watch and drive, but you can listen. So all good there. But I will see you tomorrow again. Just so awesome. So forks up again to 9th ranked women's volleyball and 7-2 Sun Devil football, who again should be ranked, but I'll get into that. Probably get into that a little bit more on Friday. Might have a surprise guest on Friday from On Location. We're working on it. We're going to see if it happens, but I'm just throwing that out there. So got to give you a little bit of the tease, a little bit of a preview. But nonetheless, have a phenomenal rest of your Mike. What day is it? Hump day. Woo woo. Yep, you pitchfork lunchers know that's for my mama. Have a phenomenal rest of your Wednesday. I will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. And yes, thank you to volleyball for saying that, getting it out there this year. But after they beat that team down south the first time, then went down to Tucson and swept them like they deserve to be swept by the Sun Devils. But yes, to volleyball, hashtag our state. And yes, you know it, Sun Devils. As always, forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call. Blaine Baker, Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Great flag.
That's away. Traffic going. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
Come from behind.
They're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get it. Wow. Edwards,